What's going on, everybody? This is episode 797 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And we're going to talk more Atlanta Falcons, not much on the Georgia Southern front. Things kind of get a little quiet after the spring game, and we're getting into the middle of May. You're not going to hear much college talk until that July, getting close to that. There's a new football game coming out. You're really going to start hearing about that then, about college football. But nevertheless, we're still waiting to see if some news come out over there. But we're going to talk some Atlanta Falcons because this is an ongoing story every day, every week. I hear it on the radio. I hear it in the news. I hear it on the internet. They're talking about this whole situation with Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot and them picking Michael Penix and how well Michael Penix done in the, in the rookie mini camp. And it's apparent that as the days go by, it is apparent that what Raheem Morris did is something probably like 5 steps ahead of everybody. Even if it doesn't work out, this is something that you do that when you're really uncertain about the quarterback position down the line. And if everybody's going to sit here and say this is the most important position in all of sports, not just football, in all of sports, you understand. And I think people are starting to understand what Raheem Morris did. In my opinion, he was playing chess, and we all at the moment was playing tic-tac-toe. Now we need to figure out how to get back on the chessboard so we can figure out what's going on with this team. So we're going to talk about more into the whole quarterback situation, how well Michael Penix has played or how well he's performed in minicamp. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Doing these podcasts once a week has been very refreshing. A lot of people have been pretty receptive to it, and the listenership is still pretty solid for the most part. And if things was to change and I go back to more than once a week, it probably would be because of the actual season. But as of right now, the once a week thing and doing videos in the middle of the week is really good. And the videos that I do in the middle of the week are on Rumble. So if you don't mind, follow me over there on Rumble. Over there, you get more content over there that I don't necessarily talk about on YouTube. And you can always listen or watch the show on Rumble as well. And I'm on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can follow me on X at VF Baller. The website is firstandframerates.com. But I think the website is done. I think I talked to the person. I think that website is done. So don't go to that website. It's nothing there. It's nothing there for the most part. But nevertheless, you can, like I said, you can follow me on X at VF Baller, where you can get all the information that what I do on the show. And CashApp and PayPal links are below if you want to support the show. Enough of all that talk because I've been rambling for a minute. Let's get into this. Michael Penix has been blowing everyone away in rookie minicamp. He's been saying the right things. He's been doing the right things. And for all intents and purposes, when we see the footage, he's been making the right throws. Some of the throws he's made has looked very, very good. Not to take nothing away from Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins is doing what he do with his limited ability because he's still in rehab. But when you look at the situation with both quarterbacks, I think we are in a day and age where a lot of people think these rookie quarterbacks need to play right away. And I think that, Raheem Morris don't necessarily believe in that. He doesn't believe in a quarterback playing right away, putting the guy out there on the field unless he really, really has to do it. And I think that was something that, Coach Arthur Smith tried to do as well. But the problem was you had a quarterback that really needed to be out there. He needed as much reps as possible. And throwing him to the fire probably wasn't the best idea when we look at Desmond Ridder. But when you have a guy like Michael Penix, you can put him out there. But it is still a high risk to do so. So I think in the situation that Raheem Morris put the team in, I think is very smart, to be honest with you. Go get the quarterback that you want for the future while you still have 1 or 2 years left on the quarterback you have. Now, a lot of people talking about this 4-year thing. I think a lot of people kind of laid off of that. It's not going to be a 4-year deal. And I don't want to keep having to repeat this or go down the same rabbit hole, but it's not going to be a 4-year deal. It's going to be, if anything, a 2-year, maybe 3. And I would not be surprised after 2 years they move on from Kirk Cousins. And a lot of people talking about, what about Michael Penix? He'll be 27 at the time. Well, if he's 27, he plays till 37, you got 10 years of a solid quarterback. And I think that's what Raheem Morris is looking at, and in this day and age, you want a quarterback that can give you it at the very, very minimum. If you can get a quarterback that can give you 5 good years off of if they give you 5 good years, I mean, you'd run it with some sort of success. Nowadays, a lot of these quarterbacks, man, 1 year, 2 year, you got a handful of quarterbacks that are getting long-term deals because of how significant and important the quarterback position is. It's not necessarily because, oh, these are elite guys, we got to pay them. No, they're just trying to hold on to some consistency. I mean, Dak Prescott is about to get paid a boatload of money, and to be honest with you, Kirk Cousins is another one. He just got paid a boatload of money again, because of the price of a quarterback. And if you're going to pay that kind of price for a quarterback, you better make sure you got a solid quarterback that's in-house, knows what he's doing, is going to be efficient as possible. And to be honest, I don't see nobody, that's going to be as efficient as Michael Penix. I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. The more I think about it, and I like the athleticism of Jaden Daniels, I like what Drake May could probably bring to the table. I also like what Caleb Williams can do talent-wise. But if you want somebody who's going to be consistent and actually could throw the ball at the highest level, I think Michael Penix has the best arm. And if you keep him upright, you keep him protected, you're going to be just fine. And I think that's what Raheem Morris and company was like pretty much thinking about. That's what they want to do. And when you look at it from that standpoint, you looking at it from 7 steps ahead, there's a risk that you may play yourself, but with this whole quarterback situation, this is what you may want to, take this route because, let's say, for instance, if you go out and just take Michael Penix and you get a bridge quarterback that's like a Jacoby Brissett, what if neither one of them play out? You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's a possibility. What if, the whole Kirk Cousins situation don't fall through? What if it, and when I mean what don't work out, is like Michael Penix been thrown to the fire a little bit earlier and stunting his growth. Or you throw him out in the fire and he's learning too fast or he's learning too much too fast and he's not able to process much as you want him to because he's not able to sit down and learn. Now, what they did with Desmond Ridder last year or what they did with him 2 years ago is exactly what you want to do with the Michael Penix because this is the thing. Nobody really thought too big about Desmond Ridder and how much of a thrower of the football he was. Not many people thought about his talent. A lot of people thought he was a guy at Cincinnati that won a lot of games. And yeah, that's cool. I mean, there's nothing to take away from him. But him and Michael Penix, they're two different people. They're two different quarterbacks. And with that being said, Michael Penix has the talent. He just needs to get the mental game down. For all intents and purposes, Desmond Ridder was just a guy that was kind of lacking a little bit of both. And you saw it in the game, in the play. So when you got a guy, let's just say if you had a Jaden Daniels or a Caleb Williams or a Drake May, all three of those quarterbacks are going to a situation they're going to have to play right away. And I'm not very certain that you're going to get a CJ Stroud situation out of that. And to be honest, you look at CJ Stroud, this guy is absolutely talented, but he had a great offensive coordinator as well. You look at that offensive coordinator. Who was his offensive coordinator? What is it? Slovis, I think his name. But Slovis basically was off that Kyle Shanahan tree. So when you have a good offense coordinator that can put a quarterback in a good situation to be successful, and I'm gonna be honest with you, unlike Desmond Ridder, I mean, look at the offensive guys he had around him as far as coaching. I mean, it's a little bit different. But now you have a situation with Michael Penix and Zach Robinson. He's going to learn a lot from him. He's going to learn a lot, and he's going to learn a lot from Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins knows his offense as well. This is a really good situation, and I think a lot of people are starting to understand what it is. For all this is the purpose, like I said, Raheem Morris thought about this even before he left to go to L.A. He said, look, if you want me to be your coach, y'all going to have to do something about this quarterback situation because Matt Ryan is almost out the door. Y'all going to have to get somebody in here to do something. And they went with Coach Arthur Smith, and Arthur Smith said, hey, I could do something with, Marcus Mariota once we move on from Matt Ryan and Desmond Ridder or whatever. And you saw how that played out. It's like now The Atlanta Falcons are in a really good space, guys. They're in a really good space. They don't have to worry about a quarterback issue. And I mean, you can't really be mad at that. I mean, if you're mad at that, it's just that you wanted them to pick somebody that you wanted them to pick, not necessarily somebody that possibly could be better for the team. Now, I'm on record. Is it better for the team? I'm not really sure. I was a Latu fan. I wanted them to pick Latu, but whatever the situation that they put themselves into and whatever decision that they make, I try to find my way or the best way to understand what they tried to do and try to make the most of it and see about how they can build on it going forward. And I basically commentate on it. So I think they put themselves in a good spot. I really do. All things considered, I think they did. We could talk about the cornerback situation. We could talk about the front seven, which I think the front seven is going to be absolutely disgusting. Them guys are going to be nasty. But when you look at the quarterback situation, I think they're going to be all right. I'm going to be quite honest. I think the team's going to be good. I think that the team made a chess move, and everybody else thinking that the status quo is the way that the Falcons should go. And I think in due time they're going to see, like, if Kirk Cousins, if he falls short, you got a quarterback in waiting. If Kirk Cousins balls out, you got a good quarterback still there in waiting. And everybody talking about the rookie contract or whatever, that stuff will be taken care of down the road. A lot of these teams who get these contracts with these quarterbacks can't really get nobody, in on the team as of right now anyway. But I think the Falcons have a pretty good chance to make some moves. So with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here. If you like this commentary, the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. You think I'm talking crazy? You think that, Raheem Morris is not playing chess? You think this is a terrible move? I think a lot of people starting to come around to it. I think a lot of people starting to say, like, oh, you know what? This is all right. It could be worse, but it's all right. And I think that the Falcons are going to be fine. I really do. I really believe that. You can't. This is probably the best problem to have when you have two quarterbacks that are actually capable of running the offense. Because if we didn't get, let's just say, for instance, if we didn't get Michael Penix and we had your Kobe Brissett and something happens, or we get a Gardner Minshew and something happens, and we'll be up creek. Or if Kirk Cousins get hurt, be up shit creek. You know what I mean? So. All right, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.